Welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. Yes, we are. Here we are, friends. We're back again. It's September 1st, and guess what day it is today? It's actually, and I'll probably say it again because nobody's quite in the house yet. So I'm going to share this on out. And it's a great day. It's a grand day. First day of September 2021. We are live. Ought to be a good enough message, huh? This is our 66th episode of the Full Disclosure here on Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarity. And yeah, I think I just did. Hello, Cassandra. Hello, Jerry. And Jerry's the first one here again, and Cassandra a close second. Wow, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. It's September 1st. It's my mother's birthday. And so called her and wished her a happy birthday. Hello, Jacob. Welcome to the program here. Oh, you know what we got to do is music, right? All right, let's see if we can get this rolling here. And we're going to go for the shuffle. Let's go to the next one. All right. All righty then. Maybe that's a little too loud. Okay. Well, thank you, Cassandra. Yes. Yeah, it's kind of sad for her, you know, without her husband, my father. Oh, yours is September 9th, Jerry? Oh, happy birthday to your mom, too. That's awesome. Yes, it's quite something, let me tell you. I just went out to dinner with my daughter and her boyfriend because she just had a birthday a few days ago. So that was fun. Had a grand old time at the Mexican restaurant. So that was fun. How are you all doing today? I hope you're doing very well. Back from the future. I knew he'd be back. Or they. Them. Yes, back from the future. Yes, and speaking of the future, you know, the time machine that I've been working on so diligently. Oh, look at that. Oh, look. It's even got magical packaging. Look at that. It defies all space and time, folks. The time machine. Yes, only from Truth Quest. Yes. And almost ready for shipping. So I'll be able to tell you all the information. I'm going to give you a sneak peek inside here. I haven't shown you the insides yet, so I want to show the insides. Look at that. Oh, that's all I can show you right now. Top secret. Oh, they do not want me putting this out. They don't want people time traveling. But we're going to do it. Because it's all about the truth. Yeah, if you want to go back into the future, you can. Now, you can't go into the past. This cannot bring you to the past. There's a clear warning on it. So I don't want anyone trying to get their money back. Which is why, here's another conundrum. So the minute I put these up for sale, I'll be like a big target. So, and they might not let me do it. So I might have to classify it differently. Came back to see your kids. All right. Awesome. Yeah, I'm like in the time tunnel. Yeah, this is kind of like the time. I loved that show, The Time Tunnel. Yeah, the time machine. It's going to revolutionize the world, and I can't wait to offer it to my viewers first ones in the world to have a chance at these things. A limited supply, because to make these things it takes special type of ingredients. Let me just say. 7 watching, 7 likes. Oh, 8 likes now, 9 likes. 8 watching and 9 likes. How can that be? Oh, thank goodness for puppet accounts. I invite all your puppet accounts to come here. Hello, Dark Brain. I'm going to make it 10. So it says 8 watching, but now, oh, now we got 11. So some of us have some magical powers here. Maybe the extraterrestrials, maybe they can like it without being in the chat. I don't know, without watching. Yeah. So I hope you're all excited about the time machine. And I'm working out some other details about the sale of this. It's going to be very affordable, very affordable. And it should be shortly, because I'm not very tall. How do you like that? And we're working hard to bring it to you. Might be getting a call from our friend Maxwell Smart. He is working on something, friends, that you won't believe. Well, maybe you will believe it. Zeta Reticuli puppets. Okay. Yes. Okay, so we're also going to talk about Venus today. And why don't I throw this on up here? You know what? I'm going to check. I think I shared this out to Facebook. If you can, like and share, subscribe if you haven't already. Talk your friends into subscribing, coerce them, bribe them, do all kinds of things. Help them to become a member of the show here, because I think they would like it. A listener or watcher of the show. Don't you think? Yes, it did make it to my Facebook page. Now I'm going to also, oh, Facebook is glitching out, folks. Makes you wonder, isn't the Earth supposed to be hit by some kind of solar ejection that happened a couple of days ago? I was watching on spaceweathernews.com. Ever watch that? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. You find out a lot of interesting stuff. For one thing, it's a plasma electric universe. It's not really the kind of universe we thought it was. You know, plasma electric, just like what Corey Goode said. So much of what Corey Goode said years ago is starting to come true. You know, adds validity to his claims. Wouldn't you say? I would say. So, yeah. There we are. We're all shared out there now. It's all good. All good, folks. All good. Chat invisibles. Are there chat invisibles? That's interesting. Yeah, 12 likes and only 9 watching. Well, could that be some kind of shadow banning or shadow puppet banning or something? September 5th? Can Corey Good come on September 5th? I don't know. I mean, you know what? Let me check my email. Maybe he answered me. I suggested the 8th, I believe. The 5th is when Andrew's supposed to come back. We'll see. It's all checking my mail here. I'll see if Corey Good has answered. I checked it earlier and no word yet, but since you mentioned it, I'll check for you. And no such luck. Nope. Haven't heard, but some other good news, folks. I'm in talks with Nira Isley and hoping to get her on real soon. So if you have not heard of her, look her up. Nira Isley, she's a veteran of the Air Force, and she's had some experiences. Let's just say, look it up. And she's a great person, very important for the truth movement. And she's a real person, a real nice person, and you'll like her, you'll love her. Nira Isley. I believe she was on Cosmic Disclosure too with Corey Good and David Wilcock a few years ago. I believe. I think that's where I first saw her. Cooper. That sounds familiar. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. You said it's similar to Bashago's story, Dark Brain. Now, I know that Michael McIntosh is now going under a different pseudonym. He was on the Greg Bornstein show, I believe, under a different name. So, yeah, I don't know if that's him on Journey to Truth or if it's some other fella. Okay, so I don't know. I'll have to check that out. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, I think I saw that, but I just can't remember now. Sometimes I have to see things twice. I will definitely watch it. Yeah, the Journey to Truth guys do a great job. And that one guy has a really cool first name. I can't remember what his name is. Last name is Kuhn. What's his? Oh, Aaron. Yeah, kind of a cool name. Yeah. I never used to like my name, but I like it now. It takes a while to like what you're given. So yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I wonder, let me see. I'm gonna, let's see here. Where is that darn thing? There it is. Okay. I'm gonna put this into the chat. It's the link, Zoom link, if you want to call in. And we're going to talk about Venus. And Venus has always intrigued me. See, I'm trying to give it space there, but it pushes it all together. Oh, there it goes. I think that's okay. I don't know if that's going to work. But there's that. But yeah, so let's get on up one of these pictures of Venus, because they've mapped, I think, most of the surface of Venus, and they found some very strange things. And this was even years ago that they found this stuff. It just blows me away that people don't know about all this stuff. But that's why we got shows like this to help spread the good word. Isn't that right? Yes. Now I want you to take a look at this and remember, this is something that's on the surface of Venus, our sister planet. What the heck is that? Some kind of rectangular mountains and volcanoes, or buildings perhaps. What do you think? What do you suppose that could be? I mean, it doesn't look like something you'd see on an abandoned planet or a planet that supposedly has no life and has never had life. It looks like something you'd find on a planet that at least, at the bare minimum, at one time had life, I think. Take a look at that. I mean, that's pretty incredible, wouldn't you think? I mean, don't you think? It's crazy. It's wild. It's bizarre. What exactly is it? Who knows? We just have no way of knowing. It's just an interesting anomaly until we can figure it out. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? Looks like some sort of building. Yes, Cassandra, it sure does. Buildings and walls, yeah. Or smokestacks or vents to some underground facilities or something. Hey, Mr. Dennison. Hey, Aaron. Some people say that to me. I'm not sure what it means. It might be something. John Lear had lots to say about Venus. Oh, is that right, CJ? Yeah, John Lear's another interesting guy. He's got a lot to say. I'd listen to that guy, for sure. He flew every kind of aircraft, but they wouldn't let him fly a UFO. So, yeah. So that's pretty interesting, I would think. Look at that. That's on our sister planet, Venus. Now, Venus, they call it our sister planet because it's almost the same size. I mean, we're both pretty close to the sun. But of course, they have a runaway greenhouse effect. Could be landing pads for something. Yeah, you're right, Cassandra. Could be. That's right. Yeah. Very well could be. Oh, a comedian pronounces his name Aaron. Okay. Valiant Thor. CJ. Yeah, Valiant Thor says he's from Venus. Yeah, and I believe, was it Corey Good? He said he went to Venus. He was brought to Venus by the Inner Earth people. And he met with some holographic beings that portend to be the Guardian race, which later became the Blue Avians, apparently. First humans in this area. But yeah, 2 billion years ago or more is when life sprung up on Venus, maybe longer ago than that, perhaps. But very interesting encounter he had there. I'll have to ask him about that next time he's on. Yeah, Valiant Thor, very curious and interesting. He actually lived at the Pentagon for like a year or two, right? kept trying to convince them to give up their nuclear arms, but we're worried too much about the economy, apparently. Yes, Valiant Thor says he's from Venus. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting case. So many there are so many interesting cases. It's unbelievable how many there are, really. It's kind of crazy. Oh, I have someone in the we're gonna let Becky in. Okay, make sure you mute your stream, Becky. And hello? Hello, Becky.
Hi.
Hi, Becky. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's so nice to see another Moundite. Pardon?
Oh, Moundite.
Yes.
Okay. So, Becky, do I know you?
Well, we probably crossed paths. Hi.
Hi. Oh, were you commenting about Monster Road?
Yes.
So now, why did they call it Monster Road? Let me turn this music down a little bit.
We're not in sync. We're not in sync.
Oh, you have to turn off your stream. You watch it through the Zoom. Don't watch it through YouTube.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. Gotcha.
Turn this down even more.
I have it now. So
didn't you say that some guy was living in a shack out there?
That was the story. It was, we all just made up stories about Monster Road. And there was a guy that lived in this shack. There was actually an old, decrepit little shed. And that's where we assigned him that he was going to be living.
So no actual proof for this?
No.
Just
not at all.
Just imagination. But
yes.
But yeah, it was a road where kids would just meet and party and decide where to go and things like this, right?
Exactly. But it's so nice to. Can you see me?
No, I can see
Why?
your camera is off on the lower left. If you move your mouse over the.
I see it. I got it. Not that I'm anything to look at. Don't get me wrong. Okay.
On the lower left, there's a little camera, and just click on it, and it should pop up.
Yeah, one would think that would work. One would think that.
Ask to start video. Okay.
Oh, okay. Start my video. There we go. See, it took your magic to do it, right?
I don't know. Let's see if it works. I can't see.
I don't know. Oh, you still can't see me?
No.
Wow. What a bummer.
Oh, well. At least
the only reason it matters is because I want to meet you in person.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see here.
Sorry, do you still live in Mound?
No, but my family lives there.
Okay. Where does your family live in Mound?
The island and 3 Points mostly.
Okay. Yeah, I spent a lot of time out on 3 Points, and I've lived on the island myself a couple times.
Well, another conversation that we had, I told you that we were talking about where people used to party, and we were talking about Monster Road. And I said, they used to party at my house.
Oh, yeah. Where is your house?
Well, it was in 3 Points on Finch Lane.
Finch Lane.
Do you know where Paul's store used to be on that Paul's store? It was also a tavern, and
Yes, I used to actually go there sometimes and hang out. What was that guy's name who was the son of the owner or something? And he always just
Well,
sing karaoke.
I don't know, but it was Paul was the original owner.
Oh, I
But
think it was,
anyway, so I thought that well, I didn't think that you liked my answers, so I didn't pursue it.
oh,
But we live down that road that Paul
okay,
lives on.
interesting. Oh, you know who used to live out there is the Geffreys.
Yeah,
Yeah, and a
that's
bunch of
also
other
nice.
people that I used to uh, hang around with.
Yeah, I think there was some other people. Um, I I don't know what I can say.
Well, like I know that I was at the Rogers place. Uh, Dave Rogers was in my class, right?
Okay,
And
I don't know who that is.
oh, okay. Well, I graduated in 1980.
Okay, you were I'm looking at my audio um just to see if I could make this happen.
Oh,
Um, and if you were brilliant about these things, then you could help me through it. Unfortunately,
oh, well, all I know is there is a camera button on the lower left, I think, or is that the microphone? I do have to say though, Nicolette Trumpy Bear just super chatted and says, "How's it going?" It's going great. How's it going with you, Nicolette? Nicoletta? That's a really cool name, don't you
oh,
think?
that's a really cool name.
Nicoletta. Wow. Never heard that name before.
Um,
Very cool. Well, thank you very much. That helps to keep the show going. So it's very much appreciated. Oh my goodness,
uh,
another one from Nicoletta again. A mic drop. She's doing a mic drop. Oh, that's cute. So much fun. Wow. Thank you very, very much.
does anybody on here know how to make my camera work? I'm
Make
just,
your to make your camera work.
yeah,
Are you on a phone or are you on a computer?
I'm on the computer. But it's so exciting talking to you. I'm just like kind of frustrated or whatever, you know.
Well, you should be able to, right when you hover the mouse over the area where we're talking, you should be able to see the microphone to the far left, and then right next to it's like a video, and there should be like a
Mhm.
line through the video, and you just click on the video, and then
Yep.
it will start showing.
And it doesn't.
I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know what to
I
say.
don't want to swear, but oh poop. um, anyway, so you went to, I'll just keep talking, I guess. But you went to school at Shirley Hills,
Squirrely Hills, yeah.
and I actually did drive school bus for them.
You did.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
but you were beyond age at that point. Um, so it was, little kids. Um, anyway, oh, um, one of the things, if I do say so myself, that I'm intrigued by you is that you're an inventor.
Thank you. Hold
Well,
on a second. I got a call. Hold on a second. I got a call. Let me just answer this.
yes, sir. You hold
Hello?
on too.
Hello? Yes, is this Maxwell? Hello, Max. I'm talking to someone else right now. If you can just hold on a little bit, and then we'll get to you as soon as we get done with Becky here. All right.
No problem.
All right. Good. Maxwell Smarts called in, folks. That's great. Okay. Now, so you were saying, Becky, about Mound. So you drove bus. My mom was a lunch lady for Hilltop.
I bet anything that
We
I
call
knew
it
your
flops.
mother,
Oh, yeah.
because I was kind of a pathetic little kid, And she was probably a very loving,
Yeah.
nurturing kind of lady.
Yes,
And so
she is. It's her
so
birthday. It's her birthday today.
well, mine is the 12th.
Oh,
So-
wow. That's fantastic.
Happy birthday to your mother.
Thank you. And happy birthday to yours too.
So I bet I knew her because I gravitated towards nurturing ladies back
Mhm.
then.
Mhm.
And I'll bet she was one of them that I gravitated towards. So I thank you for that. I thank her. You can even ask her if she remembers me. I don't know.
And what's your last name? Do you mind giving that up?
I'll tell you, and however many people are watching. Forrest.
SOR?
No, forest, like the trees, only with double R's.
Forest. Oh, I couldn't see the forest for the Steves. Okay.
Good sense of humor, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, my mom made cookies too a lot, so she probably brought cookies.
Yeah.
But her name's Marge. So if you know her.
Yeah. I bet. Well, I don't remember names, but I just, based on what I've heard you talking about your mom, I just would think that I would have gravitated towards her because of her kindness and nurturing aspect to children.
Wow. Yeah, she really is. I have to say thank you again to Nicoletta Trumpy Bear. Another very generous super chat. Thank you so very, very much. And she also says happy birthday. And there's a cute little hippo going around in a chair. So cute. Let me see those stickers. Very cute. Yeah, I was going through the eaves once and I found a painting in there that my mom had done. And it was
my goodness.
It was a swishy painting of like planets and stars and stuff. And I took it out and I said, Mom, what's this? She goes, oh, I made that painting for your kids when you were younger for your room so that you could know that you would have no limits to your imagination.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah. Yeah. What a great mom. Well, I already knew that based on stuff you've said. So
thank you. Yeah. She's
yeah.
Great mom. Lucky, had a great mom and a great dad.
I don't know much about your dad except he passed away recently.
He worked for Tonka Toys as a tool maker.
Oh, I worked for Tonka Toys.
He also worked at Shopper.
I don't know what that is.
Shopper Toys, the Cootie Company.
Nope, I don't.
Shakopee. No, in Plymouth.
Nope, I don't know that one.
Okay.
But I wonder if I knew your dad. What did he do at Tonka Toys?
He's a tool maker. His name was Frank.
Okay. Well, there are so many people there, but
I worked at Tonka in the 90s or in the 80s. I'm sorry, the late 80s.
And then they moved to Mexico. Well, I don't know what year they moved to Mexico.
No, I worked there after they moved to Mexico. I was in their corporate headquarters. I was a designer.
I have a book that says Tonka Toys on it. Oh, I would love to run and get it. And I have it signed by one of the designers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay, you hold on a second.
Okay. Now, my mom carves wooden ducks. And I don't know if you can see the detail on this, but it's all the feather detail and all the carving and everything. And this is
I was gone, but I love it. I carve and sculpt.
So yeah, for the wooden bird, and then she does it on her own now. And look at this little bird she did.
Oh, wow. That is so nice. That is really sweet.
Yeah. I got some of her stuff in a gallery up here at Woodwalk Gallery. So
yeah, I I'm sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
She's fantastic.
Okay, so I have the name of the guy who signed my book, but I can't read his first, or it looks like his middle initials L, but it's Lawman. Does that ring a bell to you?
Lawman?
Laumann.
And that is in relation to who?
That is the guy that signed my book, my Tonka Toys book.
Oh,
Oh, he's the one that wrote it. Dennis, David, and Lloyd Lawman.
okay. Never heard of him.
Really? Oh, that's too bad.
I can't know everybody. I wanted to meet everybody, but it was just, I really did. When I was a kid, I wanted to meet everybody, but it was just too many people. And
I drove for a motion picture company in Minnesota, and I met all kinds of movie stars because my main driving thing was actors and actresses.
okay.
So that was kind of exciting. And I have a copy of the movie. It's an 8-track. Is that what you call it? 8-track?
VHS?
Yeah, VHS. And I have all my, paraphernalia from it,
Uh-huh.
so that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Little spice of life there.
I really enjoyed working at Tonka. I designed a metal truck while I was there. It was the Isuzu Sidekick or whatever it's called.
Oh, I'll have to look that up.
That was
Okay.
fun. And I was involved with the Willow toy line, and I got to go to George Lucas's ranch to preview the movie Willow before it came out because I was working
Oh, yeah.
on the second year toy line. But yeah.
So I kind of inappropriately, perhaps, was kind of, I apologize, hinting to you that I have stuff that I would like to show you that I think are sellable items, and I don't really know what to do with them.
Okay.
And anyway, so I apologize if that's inappropriate. I don't know. But I do have a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
So what do you think about that? Does that,
Stuff like Tonka toy stuff?
well, I have a book full of stuff that I've written down that I think would be marketable.
Oh, as a book.
Well, I like I said, I apologize if I'm out of line. I've written 2 children's books, but I haven't finished them yet.
Okay.
And I've illustrated them.
Okay.
And but not only that, I have a book full of ideas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you're the only person that I know that is of that ilk.
Okay.
And so I don't know.
I could give you some advice. Sure.
Well, I don't, if I'm not being out of line by asking you this.
Well,
Can I give you my email then if you're interested? Then
sure,
you can email me.
Yes. Why don't you give me your email address?
Okay. FOURTY 4066 at gmail.com.
All right.
But something else that I have, and I did bring it up, I believe, in one of your chats, and it's not horrible. It sounds horrible, but it's not horrible. I did a painting about child abuse and trafficking.
Oh,
but
my.
it doesn't, but it's not blatant.
Okay.
But I just feel like I would like to see that go to something that
Mhm.
made a worthwhile.
Yes. Yes. Make an
Yes,
impact. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
yes.
Okay. I'll email you.
Thank you very much. I
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
Did you see the books that I did?
I
To-
saw those little bugs with the
Okay.
hearts. I love those little bugs with the hearts.
Love bugs. Yeah. This is the Popple and Popple's Place that I did.
Everything I've seen that you've done, I've loved. And
Thank you.
that's, well, it's easy. It's easy to love that stuff. So I'm excited. Well, that's why I'm excited to talk to you finally, just to show my admiration and respect for what you do.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. And I will email you. Okay.
Yeah, Becky from Mound.
Becky from Mount. Yes.
I want to, I don't know what the conversation is right now, but I would love to hear you talk.
Okay.
I've talked a lot.
All
Now I
right.
want to hear you talk. Can you
Okay.
just,
Well, I'm going to bring in, actually, I'm going to bring in Maxwell Smart. Have you heard him before?
yes, but
Okay.
to be honest with you, I prefer hearing you talk.
Well, I'll be talking with him.
Okay, very good.
All right. All right. Well, thank you very much, Becky. I look forward to talking to you again, and I'll email you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Hurrah. Hurrah.
Thanks. Thanks for calling in.
Yep, you bet.
All right. All right. And another super chat from Nicoletta. Well, thank you so very much. Victory. Look at that. And it looks like Corbin's in the house too. Okay, Max, I'm sorry to keep you waiting so long. How are you doing?
Keep up. I was enjoying listening.
Yeah, she's a nice gal, and it's always nice to reminisce about your hometown with somebody.
Oh yeah, and people that can relate to things that you can relate to growing up and everything else. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I've only had I spent a summer in a little town called Amor, Minnesota, and boy was I impressed by all the wonderful people there and the beautiful lakes. I've never seen water that clean.
Oh yeah.
You could see 20 foot down in all the lakes, and it was just
Wow.
absolutely amazed. In fact, I've got a couple projects going with some big engineering groups to try to clean up certain rivers in this country using information I learned by studying Minnesota's lakes.
Wow.
Minnesota's lakes, one of the reasons they're so clean is they've got all this aquatic plant life growing on the bottom.
Yeah.
That traps all the silt that normally gets stirred up when boats are moving back and forth on the lake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what normally makes the water look kind of muddy looking.
Uh-huh. Right.
And when you got these aquatic plants, it traps that silt, and of course it uses it as a nutrient.
Sure.
So as it traps the silt, the water gets clearer and clearer.
Yeah.
And cleaner because it's quite amazing. I was so amazed experiencing Minnesota. A lot of great people there.
Oh yeah, it's a great
I went
place.
to that first game at the Minnesota with the Minnesota Twins in Minneapolis. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, the Twinkies, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think the guy that was really big at the time I went there was Rod Carew, I think.
Yeah, Rod Carew. Yeah, he was a good guy for the Twinkies.
I think I was there about
Rod Carew.
75, I'm going to guess.
Okay. Hey, that was the year of the great storm of 75. I was actually delivering papers during that storm. And I had to use a sled. I couldn't use my cart. I had to use a big sled. It was like
Wow.
4 or 5 feet of snow in the middle of the streets. And I was out there at 4:30 in the morning. There was no plows there. Trust me. Yeah, that was a heck of a year. Great storm of 75. I even drew a cartoon about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to agree with the woman who just called that. You have a lot of extraordinary work there, and we should talk about that stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
you got real talent.
Thank you.
So yeah, you should take a bow every once in a while because we all have unique talents, and yours is great. I mean,
thank you. Well,
different areas.
I would not call myself great. I think anybody with practice can do anything. That's what I think.
Yeah, well, we all have talents, but you can take a bow once in a while for it.
All right, I'll take a bow. Thank you very much.
we all have our unique talents, and so we shouldn't let our heads get too big. But
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, Nicoletta Trumpy Bear says my sister was born during that storm in January 29th, 1975. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I always wanted to be Paper Boy of the Year. That was my goal, to be Paper Boy of the Year. I didn't let snow, sleet, nothing stopped me. And I was trying so hard and I never got it. I just think there were so many paper boys, but I was very dutiful.
The one thing I didn't like about Minnesota,
Mosquitoes?
deer flies.
Oh, the deer flies. Deer flies. Yeah, those are bad too. Sometimes, yeah.
They for whatever reason, they love me. And I was working on a farm. Imagine two essentially young adolescents getting sent to Minnesota to work on a farm.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And it was a lot of work. I think the hay bales we had to put up in this barn were heavier than we were.
Oh yeah, that's tough work. That is real tough work.
Oh yeah, and there's 7,000 bales to put up. And
oh my God!
I mean, I had to go get back. I had to get electroshock on my back that summer.
Oh yeah, if you're not used to it, that can really wreck you. Something terrible.
Our next door neighbor, he had his own dairy farm, and he's a super nice guy. He used to come over and wake us up at 5 in the morning and says, "Okay, it's time to get started." It's like, oh,
yeah.
Why do you get started? Can't sleep at a 9 or 10?
Right.
He says, "Nope. This is the life of a farmhand."
You got chores to do.
Oh yeah, and I remember one time we made a big mistake. We cut all the weeds on this particular field with hose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Took a hoe and cut it off at the top. He says, No. I told you to pull the weeds, not cut the weeds. So we had to go back and pull them out, which is a lot harder once you cut the top off.
Yeah. I'd say so.
There were some miserable aspects of what we did.
Yeah. Wow.
But one of the things we really liked, our boss was nice and gave us a truck, and it had a boat behind it. And in this particular county, Otter Tail County, there were like 1,000 lakes in the county. I mean, you could literally go every 2 miles and find a lake.
Wow. Yeah.
So we tried to go to a different lake every night after work.
Wow.
A few times we never made it because we're just too darn tired.
Mm-hmm.
And but
we
went to a lot of places.
You ever make it out to Leech Lake?
Leech Lake?
Leech Lake, yeah.
No, I never heard that one.
It sounds like a scary
really
lake.
cool lake.
It sounds like a scary lake, Leech Lake. leeches
We
are.
went to this little lake called Round Lake all the time.
Oh yeah, was it
And
round? Was it round?
Really hilarious things we saw there.
Really?
We were on this lake one night, and I don't know, 100 yards away from us, looked like some really professional fishermen. They were pulling in fish left and right, and if they're small, they just put them in the bottom of the boat. You could hear them flopping in the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And we were watching from a distance, and we saw these big. They looked like blue heron sitting in the trees, and every time they throw one in the boat, you could see them. They got taller, like they were looking
Mm-hmm.
and walking over there in the trees.
Wow.
And I guess they'd had enough at one point, and they flew over, and we got to see how big these things were. They landed in the boat, and these guys were trying to swing with the oars to get the birds out of the boat.
Wow.
They were taller than the guys were in the boat,
Wow.
and they continued, stayed there until they ate every one of those fish out of the bottom of the boat. And we didn't have cameras back then, or we didn't anyway. We would have loved to have recorded that because we couldn't stop laughing.
Wow.
I mean, but they learned not to throw the fish in the bottom of the boat.
Yeah. I bet not after that. Man.
Another very strange experience we had. Of course, we're kind of leery. We're kind of up there mostly by ourselves. We knew, stay away from. You have to stay away from certain strangers, right? So, but we came off this lake called Twin Lakes, and we were loading up the boat on the trailer, and this guy approached us, and he says, "How'd you like fishing on the lake?" I said, "Oh, we enjoyed it, and we're a little suspicious of this guy." And he says, "Did you catch anything?" He says, "Yeah, we caught some." He says, "Did you see that clear spot over on this side of the lake?" He says, "Yeah, what was that? What is that?" I said, "Well, there's a spring there." And he says, "Long time ago, I was out here in the wintertime, and I got out there on that ice. I got too close, and I fell in.
Ooh.
And I thought I was going to die, because
Yeah.
I had trouble getting out. And when I was trying to struggle there to get out in the cold water, my foot caught on something."
Uh-oh.
And he says, so later in the summer, he came back and he dived down where that spring is. And he brought up a bison skull.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. That's interesting.
And so this guy, we're not sure what to believe here. And this guy says, "I've got all these full bison skeletons in my, basement. If you guys like to see it." Of course we're like, I don't think so.
Right.
We're like, this sounds like a horror movie,
Mm-hmm.
Get these young boys over there, and
Yeah.
Anyway, but I got the guy's number or whatever. And when my mom came up to visit, I told her about it. I said, "Well, maybe we should ask around, and if it's okay, well, maybe we'll go over see it." But we did. One day we went over, and of course we were a little leery because we were being led down into this guy's basement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the disadvantages as a young kid seeing all these horror movies,
Right.
You're like, your mind is racing,
Yeah.
But when we got to the basement, it's like a museum. He really did have, I think he had 19 complete skeletons of bison that he found.
Wow.
And I think he had a saber-toothed cat skeleton and
Wow.
all these things that he found by diving there.
Wow.
And, it was just incredible.
That's crazy.
So we're glad we went.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. That's bizarre. That is really bizarre.
Yeah, so I had a lot of great memories from Minnesota.
Yeah. Now, you were talking to me a little while ago about something you were working on. Did you think any more about this hypothesis that you have?
Which one was that?
About the nucleus of the atom and reducing the size of the atom.
Oh yeah, well, I was listening to one of your programs earlier where I think that someone was talking about with Jacob about whether it's possible to shrink matter or things like that.
Okay.
And I just got to thinking about it and said, that's kind of an interesting idea. You know, I wonder. So I just thought I'd take a stab at it and listen and think about it. And I made a few observations. There's something in a process called electron capture.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fairly well known, but the innermost orbit of electrons,
Mm-hmm.
actually the first two orbits of electrons can fill. The electrons can fall into the nucleus under a process called electron capture, and it reacts with a proton, and the proton disappears and makes a neutron and something called a neutrino.
Okay.
And this actually occurs, and of course that element is no longer the same element because it lost a proton. But the interesting thing is the reverse happens. If you take a neutron out and separate it from the atom and put it out by itself, it will spontaneously fall apart back to a proton and electron. So that's the reverse process. So it goes both ways. And I was thinking about that. The main particles that make up the nucleus, of course, are the positively charged proton and then the neutrally charged, neutron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they have roughly the same mass. They weigh roughly the same.
Mm-hmm.
The neutron just slightly. I think the neutron 0.01% heavier than the proton. It's just a little bit heavier.
Okay.
For all intents and purposes, they're the same, and they're roughly 2,000 times bigger than the electron.
Okay.
And what's interesting they know that the neutrons and a proton are both made up of 3 quarks each, and all matter that we know of in our universe is made up of up and down quarks. But the strange thing is there's 4 other quarks that have been observed. There's the strange quark, there's the charmed quark, there's the top quark, and there's the bottom quark. And they have no idea what the fundamental purposes of those other quarks are.
Maybe they're just wine corks.
Hey, but they interact with up and down quarks.
Yeah.
Up and down quarks can react with other quarks and actually form other particles that aren't neutrons and protons.
Okay.
And I think the biggest they've observed was 4 quarks connected together.
Okay.
And nobody really knows what purposes they play in our universe at all. Well, anyway, a quark has up and down quark. I mean, a proton has 2 up quarks and 1 down quark, and each up quark has a 2/3 charge plus 2/3. So if you have 2/3 plus 2/3 is 4/3, right? 1 1/3 charge.
Okay.
And then the down quark has a minus 1/3 charge. So that's 1 1/3 minus 1/3 is a +1. Okay, that's where the proton has a +1 charge. Well, in a neutron, instead of 2 ups and a down, it's 2 downs and an up.
Okay.
So you have 2/3 minus 1/3 and minus 1/3. So you add that up and you get 0. The interesting thing is, remember I said if the electron acts with that proton, you basically have a an up quark that's converted to a down quark.
Okay.
So, well, the reverse can happen. And what essence I'm trying to say is, what happens if you would have 3 up quarks? You'd have 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 is what? 6/3 or a +2 charge, right?
Okay.
As far as we know, that's never been observed. But if you were able to do that by some technique, what would happen to the electron cloud around the nucleus if suddenly all the protons became +2?
I don't know.
Well, it shrink. The atom would shrink.
Okay.
The empty space,
Sure.
because the electron cloud would be attracted greater to the positive charge. The electrons and negative charge is attracted, so they come closer into the nucleus. Well, when you do the calculations, it says that the volume that atom would take up would be about 98% smaller.
90% smaller.
98.
98% smaller. So if you could somehow work this into a beam that you shoot at your opponents in an armed battle, you could shrink your opponents to 98% of, or to 2% of their size.
Like, you ever seen that movie, A Fantastic Voyage?
Yes. Yeah.
Where they shrink down the ship and they inject it into a doctor's arm and they're trying to go fix a heart attack or something. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
It's so long since I saw that movie, but
Something behind the eye. They're behind the eye for a while too. They're something in the optic nerve, maybe. I can't remember. Something. It was an epic adventure, though. It was an epic adventure.
Yeah. Well, David Wilcock has this great, in his Ascension series, he talks about some of the writings in I think it's like the Mahabharata, talks about that as we ascend as beings, we'll develop essentially superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
It says in these times of ascension that this time of ascension, that humans on the planet some of them will develop essentially superpowers. Now, as far as I know, nobody's done that, so we'll just have to kind of wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
But it lists the Hindu test lists which superpowers are developed. One of them is called Dominion, meaning you have control over. Nobody can control you. Nobody can control your mind or anything like that. I think. Again, another one was basically had a special name, but you could make yourself bigger or smaller.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, it's a great episode to listen. It's fascinating to listen to. But I think there might, in reality, we might eventually learn how to do such things.
Wow, that would be amazing. Yeah, because when they peer down in through a electron microscope to the very infinitesimally small, they find vast empty spaces down there. So, like you're saying, it probably wouldn't take much to figure out how to shrink everything because there's nothing there really. Right?
Most of our reality is empty space.
Yeah.
Our body is mostly empty space.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
They say, if you took all the actual matter and took all the water out especially, it would only leave a small pile of salt, a mixture of chemicals, right?
Oh, really?
That would stand like 6 inches tall, and if you a cone of salt 6 inches tall,
Wow.
Some phosphorus and some nitrogen and some carbon and some other things in it,
Well, yeah, I know when on episodes of like Batman and things like that, or Star Trek, they would like change people into either a powder or a geometric shape. I think on Star Trek they did some kind of geometric shape like an octagon.
Cube,
and they crumbled it, then that person would be dead. But they couldn't bring them back to life. Yeah, just amazing.
But
Fantastic. Well, so
it's
you're pretty close on getting the shrink ray ready?
well, I don't think that's coming anytime soon, but
No.
it's certainly fun to think about these things and
Yeah.
challenge the mind and just explore different ideas. You know, that's how we. That's having a good imagination is how we learn things and figure out how to do things that we've never thought we could do before.
If we could shrink people down or everything down or certain things down, there would never be any overpopulation. There couldn't be, because you could just keep shrinking things, right?
Now, here's what there's a few things I've learned, and I've been digging into these other 4 quarks that we really don't know what they do in the universe, right? But all the matter in the universe that we can see right now are made up of up and down quarks. So what in the heck is the strange quark, the charm quark, the top and bottom quark? What are they all doing? Well, remember that diagram I was talking about, how there's 2 main ascension levels above us at which evil could still exist.
Okay.
We're at level 3 and we're about to go to level 4 and then level 5. Remember I attached we're in the age of the electron, and then I said the next level up was technologically is the age of the muon.
Uh-huh.
And then the next one beyond that is the age of the tau.
Mm-hmm.
I got to thinking about that. It's kind of interesting that maybe somehow those 2 of those quarks that we don't know what they're doing are associated with that next higher level. And then the last 2 are associated with the last level, maybe. So I started thinking, okay, what are the properties of these different particles we don't know much about?
Yeah.
And it turns out just like the down quark's a -1/3,
Mm-hmm.
the bottom quark is also a -1/3, and the strange quark is also a -1/3.
Okay.
And that means the charmed, the top quarks are all +2/3. So there's all the similarities. So, but these all things would have higher, they would weigh a lot more. So what would that mean? Well, these things also have a limited lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the reasons we can't see them. They're basically virtual particles
Mm-hmm.
to us. But the muons, we know, we've learned over time, we can make a muon do work now. It's part of what we didn't know how to do that, right? Now we know because of something called relativity,
Mm-hmm.
that we can make that muon stay around a lot longer instead of 9 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And once you can get it to stay around longer, you can do something with it.
Yeah, have coffee with it.
Well, in the same way, I wonder if, in essence, there's all this other matter out there on some other higher, it has to do with a higher dimension. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's fun to think about, to speculate.
Yeah.
I
Interesting.
try to put this out there so people can think about it, and maybe they'll come up with the answer.
So Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the movie, wasn't maybe too far off, huh?
Well, that was a fun movie.
Of course, that's nothing new. Remember Land of the Giants?
Oh yeah,
That was a
that was one of the
TV show.
first shows when I was a kid that I was really interested in.
Me too. Yeah, I love that show. For people who don't know that show, for people
When
who
I
don't,
was growing up,
go ahead.
I usually got to watch Gilligan's Island at 7, and then Petticoat Junction came on at 8, and then rarely did I get to stay up long enough to watch Star Trek, which came on at 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in order to be able to see Star Trek, I convinced them that I liked Petticoat Junction. which at the time I did. I kind of like it now. I didn't.
Yeah.
So much then.
Wow.
I think it was a little more adult than I knew, to relate to, I guess.
I have to say thank you to Nicoletta Trumpy Bear again for another super chat. Keep it up. Keep it up, she says. Thank you so very, very much, Nicoletta. Very, very cool. And she also said earlier, shrink the lizards. Yes, shrink the reptilians. Yes. I think that would be a good idea.
One of my sisters is a couple years older than me, and I remember growing up, they just tried to sleep over in our basement, and I think I was about 7, and she might have been 9 or something, and she'd had one of these sleepovers before, and there's just all this screaming going on downstairs, and of course I was curious what was going on down there, right?
Sure.
So the next time she was going to have a sleepover, I snuck down in the basement and hid behind this wall. And I waited till the screaming started, and I ran out to see what was going on. Guess what it was?
What was it?
Well, it was this guy on television singing, and his name was Elvis Presley.
Really?
When he started singing, they went crazy.
Oh, they went crazy. I see. Oh, I got you. Wow. Oh, that's interesting.
That's my first introduction to Elvis Presley.
Wow. That's funny. That's funny.
The girls went crazy over Elvis.
They did. Yeah. He was such a cool guy, though. He was such a talent.
Of course, I got discovered, and of course, they screamed and said, "There's a boy down here."
Yeah.
So I got banished upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen. Diane Rain's in the house. Hello, Diane. Land of the Giants. Yeah, now for people who don't know what Land of the Giants is, thank you again, Nicoletta. Wow, you're so generous today. Wow, excellent. I really can't believe it. I'm so.
They play that right now on MeTV, I think it's called.
Oh, do they? So maybe some people know it, but just wanted to briefly explain it. It's about, I believe it was a series back in the 70s where some scientists shrunk down some people, and
Late 50s, yeah.
some evil scientist is trying to capture these little people because he can figure something out with it and take over the world. And so it's
they traveled out to space.
Oh, is that what they did?
They landed on another world, which is gigantic by comparison.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, I missed the whole first part of that then. So they actually went into space.
And it was less advanced than our Earth, but they have all these adventures. I remember they're going through this tunnel, and there's a giant rat in there, and one time they had a giant spider, and but it's pretty interesting. At some points, a few of the big humans are helped by them and become their friends.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of them want to capture them because there's a big reward to capture them. And one really episode I remember a lot is this young girl that had her dad make this little town.
Oh yeah,
like a dollhouse town,
Yeah.
And they trapped the people in it.
Okay.
And when he was off at the store getting supplies, she was basically trying to torture them.
Oh my.
And they're trying to avoid. She was just malicious. And eventually, the dad got home and found out what she was doing, and of course, she got a whooping out of it.
Oh wow.
But anyway, it was that's back in the days that you could get whoopings. Yep.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned Elvis, and Nicoletta Trumpy Bear was talking about that Elvis is her hero. and everyone's talking about Elvis in the chat. And so I'm just going to throw up a picture of me as Elvis. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think you ought to talk every once in a while in your Elvis voice.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Rock and roll music, if you like it, and if you feel it, you can't help but move to it. That's what happens to me. I can't help it. I've tried to stand still. I just can't do it. So there's me as Elvis at my very first photo shoot. And that's me as Elvis, I guess. So anyway, that's interesting.
You got lots and lots of Elvis stories, folks. I'm sure I remember you have a lot of. You talked about it quite a bit in some of your earlier shows.
Yes, I did.
But I'm sure you probably have hundreds of other stories to tell.
Yeah, I got a lot of Elvis stories to tell. Thank you, Becky. Thank you so very much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate that. That's incredible. Yeah, boy. You know, I grew up listening to Little 45 records because I did not like what was being played on the radio. And we had a whole bunch of 45s from the 50s, and that's all I listened to. So I love that music. Yeah. I love that music.
I had a van a while back, and I put an 8-track player in it that I'd saved, and I had a bunch of younger friends, and I saw this thing, and they thought, "Well, where did you get that? I never knew. I didn't see that. Did it just come out?" I said, "No. That's been around for years and years."
Yeah, 8-track.
You know, they can't relate to all the technology that is come and gone.
I know. Yeah. Actually, I know someone whose father invented the 8-track tape player.
Wow.
From the Mound area.
What I liked about 8-track, if you learned how to do it, you could repair them pretty easy. Of course, the first time I tried to do that, if you remember, it's got this big roll of tape inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you pull it out the wrong way, there's no way it's going back together again.
Mm-hmm.
So the first couple times I tried to repair the tape, it was a disaster. But
yeah,
I still have a few tapes from then. Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass, an old one.
I had
Billy Joel.
Yeah, Billy Joel. I had Boston's first one on the 8-track, and I had Elvis Costello's. Which one was it? Oliver's Army. Oliver's Army. Great album. Oliver's Army. So
yeah, there's a lot of good stuff that I have.
I thought it'd be cool to come out.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be cool to come out sometime in my Elvis suit and sing Elvis Costello songs. I think that'd be kind of funny. I don't know if anyone would get it though.
Yeah, I think you ought to come out on your Elvis suit sometime.
You think?
One of these episodes, just show up with it.
I'll probably get a copyright strike.
No, and you dress up like different people.
Yeah. Well, this shirt I'm wearing is pretty cool. It's a black shirt with a white collar, and it's kind of cool. Oh, and it's a short sleeve. And the reason I wore it is because, folks, remember I showed you my arm before, and I'm getting these marks on my arm. I got another one. Okay. Check this out. If you can see it right here. See that? Look at that. It's like a little bruise, like a little round oval type bruise. And I get these on the inside of my arms. There's none on this side, okay? But sometimes they're in triangle shapes. Sometimes there's one or two of them. In this case, there's just one. Now, in this case, this one showed up, originally it showed up brown. And I thought, is that a mole? I mean, did I always have a mole there? And I'm going, that doesn't look like a mole. And then just today it turned purple. So I know it's not a mole. It's that's what it is. Something Am I being abducted? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we should all get trail cams and put them in our bedrooms just in case.
Well, I had an interesting experience. I was taking some dilled garlic.
Yeah.
I was taking a clove a day, basically, and the dilled garlic is not that strong, so you can do that without having a lot of negative consequences.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, I had a little wart on one of my fingers,
Yeah.
and I noticed the wart was disappearing.
Okay.
And I was only taking it for a week, and this wart was just shrinking. And then, of course, I had a few skin tags, which are also viral, right? And I noticed they were all shrinking when I was taking the garlic. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Well, garlic
I stopped
shrinks.
taking it for a while, and of course, it came back again.
So eating garlic can get rid of warts, you're saying?
Yeah, well, warts are viruses.
Oh,
And
wow.
there's like 70 compounds in garlic that are antiviral.
Uh-huh.
So it's one of the best things to kill viruses throughout your body.
Yeah.
And do it over time.
Zinc too, right? Zinc does the thing.
On his warts. Well, zinc doesn't actually kill them, it just suppresses their growth.
You can put tape over warts too, and they'll fall off. Like duct tape.
Really?
You know what duct tape doesn't work good on? I found doesn't work good on ducks. Does not work good on ducks. You would think it would be good, but it's no good. Trust me. Don't try it.
Okay.
It's a mess.
Are you working up to another dad joke here?
trying to swim away from it, actually, yeah.
I think most of the people out here already know that you'll be going along, and all of a sudden you say, "Oh, he's about to do it." You can tell when he's working up to one of his dad jokes.
Yeah. There should be like a big flashing or dad joke, a big warning.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I just heard one today. What was it? I don't know if I'll be able to remember it. Oh, I should have people, when they tell me a joke, they should tell me 3 times so I remember it better. Oh, it was
I can kind of see it coming, but I still get surprised. That's why I call your humor ambush humor.
Ambush humor, yes. I sometimes I do that for sure. But it's always good to keep humor in the forefront, because a smile can extend your life and can make your life happier, right? I mean, because you're laughing and smiling.
I heard a lady today. I was at the Waffle House, and a lady today said something you had said that I think it was your dad had said it. I couldn't believe it when she said it. She says, my dad used to say all the time, says, I got a Cadillac in one eye and a Lincoln in the other.
Cataract, yeah.
Oh my, I've heard that before.
Yeah, yeah. It's my dad called
You're the one that told me that.
Cataract.
Is that your dad that said that, or your mom?
My dad.
Yeah, okay. I thought I'd heard it for the first time. Well, I actually heard it for the first time from you, and then I just heard it today from somebody else. I was like, wow, I heard that before.
Wow. Yeah.
I discovered a whole, I'm about to meet another 50 new patriots or something.
Oh, yeah?
Talking with the waitress. Turns out she's a patriot. She's going to introduce me to a little group of other patriots in the area. So,
okay, that's cool.
oh yeah, real excited. You know.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, who doesn't want another 50 friends that are patriots? Come on. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody's a patriot when it comes right down to it. If they're honest with themselves, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, one of the things that let's say the black hats, don't use that other words, it didn't count on in our country is patriotism. Because there's patriotism is ingrained in most people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Making rid of that easily. You know, they can't. As soon as people suddenly figure it out, then they'll realize they don't want to put up with this.
Mm-hmm.
The data shows that a huge number of the Democrats have already awakened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, 20 to 30% of the people at the Trump rallies were Democrats. So, and you look at the walk away program. I mean, the walk away movement, where you had like 1 million or more people walking away from a major party. That's never happened before.
right. And they said that 82% of people were for voter ID. 82% of the population.
Yeah.
So, no, these black hats they think they're in control, and they try to use the media to convince people that they're in control, but they're not.
Right.
People are waking up left and right. People just don't know entirely what to do, but they're getting involved in local politics. Yeah. They're pushing back where they can, and they're educating themselves. There's
some very inspirational speeches given by parents and concerned citizens at these school board meetings and various public events that they're doing. It's heartwarming to see people really, because that's been a thing about this country. You know, people can come to this country as immigrants, and they'll excel very quickly because they've never had these kind of opportunities before. Whereas we've been complacent. It's been here. Yeah, it's okay. It's there. If I can start a business if I want to. But, you know, we don't really have the push to do it. Now there's a new patriotism. There's a new love of country. And it's going to be
subjected all this propaganda to try to convince us you can't do things. You're not worthy of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been putting this kind of programming out to us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So a new one coming in here sees all the opportunities, and they take risk, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes Americans don't take risks because they've been beaten down a little bit by the propaganda.
Yeah.
One of the things I think we have to.
Go ahead.
One of the things I think that we need to avoid in this movement is we don't want to jump into the situation where we us versus them. You know, I hear a few people talking about, you know, the DLD and Democrats. We need to try to stop that talk.
Uh-huh.
Right? It's not about Democrat versus Republican. It's about evil versus good. It's about corrupt versus not corrupt. You know?
Right.
And why is that important? Because it makes it so much easier for someone who was formerly a Democrat to come over and join forces.
Yeah.
With us, if you don't trigger them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost anybody can be triggered, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to trigger them. We want them to say we believe in some of the same things. You know, I hear a few of these shows, and I say, I wish they would just tone it down a little bit. You know, we need to reach out to these people. The black hats have been using division for years to try to divide us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to play into that. You know?
Right.
Well, I urge everyone out there, you know, I'm sure I've seen so many wonderful patriots they reach out, they try to help people. You're a great example just by doing good things in your community and when you're interacting with people, and people notice that.
Mm-hmm. I just put up a graphic, Max. It's an image of Trump in a Superman outfit that I kind of overlaid from a photo, but I did the artwork for it. And it says, draining the swamp, arresting pedo Satanists, where we go in, we go all, Super Trump. So yeah, very much appreciated what he did for that movement. But think of all the thousands of children that were saved because of him, and many
We
more.
couldn't have done it without it. Well, we could have, but it's easier with him, and vice versa. He needed us too.
Yeah. Well, we need him to come back in to office and send the very able-bodied military people to go in and get the stuff that Sleepy Joe left behind.
It's gonna happen. All the stuff's gonna happen. Can't you see it building up to crescendo? You know, it's gonna get more increasingly bizarre until finally
the precipice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like, you know, the drops always said, you know, enjoy the movie, enjoy the show. You know.
That's right.
You know, and there's a lot of these clues that shows that we're in the middle of a belligerent occupation, at least defined by the Geneva Convention. And so, you know, like the term that I made up is Pino. We got a Pino in control.
Right. President in name only, Pino. That's a great one, Max. I have to.
I was going to put. Here's an idea for a T-shirt. It's like, "Welcome to Bizarro World."
Yeah.
Well, what do we have? Pinos, rhinos, and helifinos.
Helifinos. That's a good one. I have to thank Nicoletta Trumpy Bear again for 2 new stickers that she put up. Thank you so much. A thumbs up and popcorn. Yes, because we're watching the show. Definitely.
Anybody's got my permission to use that on T-shirts. So.
Okay, great. And then Dark Brain also contributed. And the number he contributed is our favorite number. So thank you so much. He said, I had to get on board the Nicoletta and Becky train. You do great work, Moriarty. Well, thank you. And the only reason I do great work is because of you, Dark Brain, and Mud Rabbit, and all of the great mods that I have to help out, and the wonderful audience that I have, and the great people I have calling in, like Max. You know, it's not just me. We're all in this together, folks. So thank you.
I'd like to hear so many more people. Come on, call in. You know.
Yeah.
We want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, call in. We want you to call in. So
we want to hear your thoughts. You know, your thoughts are all important. You know.
Oh yeah.
This movement is made up of so many people with so many unique experiences and so many unique talents. And everybody has talents beyond what they even recognize.
Yes.
So.
I'm just overwhelmed at the generosity of the people today. Thank you, folks.
That's fabulous.
I'm very blessed. Thank you. I feel very blessed. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Oh.
You know, you can feel the energy of the Patriots is just so incredible, you know.
Yeah, it is. Really,
I've never been to a Trump rally, but boy, I'd love to go to one.
Yeah, me too. Boy, that would be so interesting. I almost went once, a couple times. You know what? I was going to go to the Capitol on the 6th, but I had a premonition. I had a thought that something was going to happen. Something bad was going to happen. I shouldn't be there. And I really, really wanted to go. I was going to meet Red Pill and all the friends I made and everything, but I just had this super overwhelming feeling that something was going to happen, and I didn't know what it was.
I shared with you that I think this was all part of the 17 plan. That day he knew, you know, he invited all the patrons down there, and a lot of people came, but he knew that something was going to happen, and that the mainstream media would declare insurrection, right? Yeah, I'm convinced that was part of the plan. He knew this was going to happen because go read the Insurrection Act of 1807. It doesn't have to be declared by the president. and he let them declare it. And I think this is what allowed him to become essentially the maintain as president of the United States. I think he's the true president of the United States even now.
Okay.
Because of the Insurrection Act of 1807.
Could be. Thank you again, Nicoletta Trumpy Bear. Looks like a rolling around avocado. Okay, go ahead. The alphabet.
And without that, of course, he couldn't have stayed in power.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that actually allowed him to stay in power to fight these people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can imagine what would happen if he would have declared an insurrection, right?
Right.
He couldn't do that, right?
Right.
They would have, been all over him.
Mm-hmm.
So he let them do it. That's part of the plan. Just like, we can all see now that it was part of the plan. He knew what was going to happen in the election. Mm-hmm. He knew they were going to steal. I'm not going to say that. He knew that something was going to happen bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll use the wrong terms here. Be careful what I say here.
Mm-hmm.
He knew all this stuff, and we were being told this, about the mail-in stuff, right? We were being told what was going to happen, and of course, our understanding is now that back in 2016, the only reason he won is because the military intervened and prevented the certain machines from accessing the internet, so they couldn't adjust the figures by 8%.
Sure.
And so he saw what was happening then, and so it got him into as president, and he knew they were going to do it again. So you had to let them do the crime.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on. And then, of course, we're told that wasn't the last post Durham?
Yes.
I think Durham. The last post was Durham.
The word Durham.
And I think that tells the tale. When Durham is done, they're done.
Oh yeah.
When Durham is done, they're done. Well, that's another T-shirt idea.
Yeah.
When Durham is done, they're done.
Yeah.
But
yes.
I think that's what we're all waiting for. And I think it's coming soon,
Mm-hmm.
But think of the monumental task here. They have to get it right the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know he's supposed to have over 2,000 attorneys working for him, preparing the cases against all these people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them will be normal cases. A lot of them will be probably military tribunal.
I hope so.
Because their actions are going to be treasonous, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I contend if you go back and look at there's so many things in Trump's executive orders can tell us what's going to happen. First of all, for those that want real disclosure, there's that executive order where Trump says that it's like April of last year, Trump's executive order said something about all the mining proceeds from mining of the Moon, Mars, Ceres, and all the other bodies in our solar system are to be put in the federal treasury.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why would he do that if it wasn't happening right now?
Right. Yeah.
He would. That's disclosure.
Yeah.
That's our president telling us that it's real.
Yeah.
We do have a secret space program out there. So
a very good point.
Anybody out there can find that. Please do. I heard it the first time on Jordan Sather's channel. So anybody knows how to contact him, find that out so we can read it. I think people need to hear that. And the other thing is, Trump had an executive order in 2018 that said, in the event that a foreign power should try to interfere with, an election, any individual, entity, corporation, or whatever that assists that foreign power is to have their assets seized and put into the federal treasury.
Right.
And I think that tells us what's coming.
Right.
I think that's what's coming. Imagine imagine hospital systems that have participated in part of the V scare, right? The fear.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They imagine they'll be. I can envision there will become not for profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Entity, or places like Coca-Cola who have tried to get on board and try to say, take away our right to have to have the right to vote for who we want to vote for, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think what if they're seized and that all the profits go in to the general fund and then are distributed to all Americans? Okay, I think what we're going to see, we're going to see a quantum currency, and everybody's going to get their ID card, right?
Mm-hmm.
The information needed to access their account, and we're going to get paid by the government, not as a freebie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as legitimate payment for what we have gone through as citizens. This is going to be dividing up what they took from us.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that over 100 and some years. They took from us. It amounts to something like $100 and some trillion they took from us.
Wow.
And I think that's going to be given back to every American. This is going to be the beginning of what I call the economics of abundance. We're going to, these people will be working for us. They'll be working for us. And that he is going to I think he's going to get rid of the income tax.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer going to be needed, right?
Right.
We'll have the access to the abundance of our solar system, right? So we'll have wealth beyond imagining coming into our government and to the federal treasury and to us, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think our lives are going to change in a very profound way. And same way with new technologies that had been kept from us.
Right.
We have entirely too much secrecy, right? Think about it. It's the secrecy, excess secrecy, that has encouraged the development of corruption.
Yeah. Secrecy kills freedom.
You need some secrecy, but it has to be very minimal.
Yeah.
You have to have transparency and accountability. You got to have all these things. So
Yes.
I'm excited about what's coming. I'm real excited about what's coming. I think we're going to see the kind of world we always hoped we live in.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get a certain period of that time, and then we'll get an ascension level event occur.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
I want to share a picture now, Max, about it's an image I created from an image of Jupiter. And so this is it. And it's a mirrored image. I took a picture from a close-up picture of Jupiter. I reversed it, duplicated, reversed it, and half-toned it. And it creates these wild symmetrical patterns. It's beautiful. So that's one of them. I call them mirror art. It's really kind of cool. It's neat stuff. I mean, but if you've ever seen the close-up pictures of Jupiter, they've got these amazing pictures, and it looks like some kind of crazy painting.
They used to do that at the back of Mad Magazine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the fold-in.
Kind of like mirror art.
The fold-in, yeah, that was great. I used to always try to do it without actually folding it, because then you wreck the paper. But
right.
you can usually eyeball it pretty good and figure it out. But yeah, that was pretty clever. I used to love Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine. I used to read those.
Yeah.
The artwork was fantastic. I was very influenced by the artists in those books as an artist. So yeah, that's one of them.
Well, there's one. Have you ever been to Woke Society's
Oh yeah.
channel before?
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's somebody that one of his sponsors, I think, or that has. There's a real life people that are putting out a magazine similar.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I did see that one time. He was advertising that. That's right.
There's
Yes.
you get 4 magazines for $20 or something.
Uh-huh.
And they're big magazines, so they're like, I don't know how many pages.
Uh-huh.
But they're in the same kind of vein, you know, political satire and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. I was intrigued by that. I never did get it. I thought about it. I
Yeah.
just wondered if anybody's gotten it, seen it.
I don't know. I just shared another picture of the Jupiter image, another picture from Jupiter. It's completely different colors. And it's just some amazing stuff. I wonder what the people in the chat think of that. Trumpy Bear says, wow. Nicoletta Trumpy Bear. I see a lion being underneath some type of insectoid being. Yeah, you can see some amazing things in these images. It's really crazy. I really like them. It's something I came across by accident. I discovered this by accident, and it just is this beautiful thing. Oh, thank you, Cassandra. Yeah, it's freaky stuff. Freaky stuff. So what else is new in your neck of the woods, Max? What you been working on?
There's all kinds of new technologies, of course, and then it starts with just ideas. And one of the things that I do is you gotta let your intuition guide you
Mm-hmm.
when you have a problem you're trying to solve. The best way is to just say, okay, I don't know how to do this. I need some guidance. And, you know, you put it up as form of a prayer,
Uh-huh.
you know, and say, you know, show me the path. What is the path I need to take?
Mm-hmm.
And you got to believe in that. You say, okay, I know it's going to be revealed to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go on with your daily, you know, routine, and you work on another project, and all of a sudden you're completely blown away because part of the puzzle is suddenly revealed to you out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start seeing this happen, you suddenly believe in it, and all of a sudden your intuition improves. You're more effective at solving problems.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of like I was discussing on the free will love laser.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you start using it, if you want to program yourself, start saying something that you want to see happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though you don't believe it at that time. Say, okay, I see China being liberated, or I see, one thing I wanted to do tonight is I want to officially add your Invisimass to the free will love laser.
All right.
Because I think, you know, I know you did it kind of as a, you know, kind of in jest or whatever, but it can be real. We can put intention to that.
Mm-hmm.
And make that a real phenomenon. Make that so that everyone is protected by it.
Mm-hmm.
This is real, folks. Intention is real. It changes reality. It changes. And so when you tell yourself something over and over again, even if you don't believe it, watch, because what happens is your subconscious, or maybe it's actually your higher self, puts it in, starts making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
When it starts making it happen around you, suddenly your conscious mind sees what's going on and says, oh, wait a minute. It's happening right before my eyes and I didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But you did do something. You put the intention out, even though you didn't believe at the start, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put this intention out there, and then you start seeing your intention coming true, and then you realize, your conscious mind suddenly realize, oh my God, intention does change your reality.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize you are what you think you are. You can change the world with one intention.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the importance of us, all of us, trying to better ourselves. One thing at a time. When we better ourselves, we better the whole world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's when you see it. I first did the experiment. I was trying to think of something. I was trying to figure out what could possibly be done to enhance our ability to use the natural mental capacity that we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what kind of experiment could one do? What is the key? They say we only use so much of our brain. What is it we're missing?
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought of this experiment, and that was I was going to tell myself every night before I go to bed something, even if I didn't believe it, and I had to deliberately pick something I clearly did not believe could be made true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because knowing if it did come true that I'd be so flabbergasted by it, well, I'll tell you exactly what I told myself. I said, and I certainly didn't believe this, I'm going to find a single treatment for over 95% of all human disease. That's what I told myself, because I certainly didn't believe that was possible. And today I can't go into that because of the nature of what they do to you if I went into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think I found such a thing, okay? I found something unique about the immune system. I found out what the immune bullet is in our immune system.
Okay.
And I definitely want to talk with people, but I have to do so on I can't do it on YouTube, obviously, because of that censorship.
Mm-hmm.
But but I got convinced. Here's what happened. I was telling myself that, and I clearly didn't believe it right at the beginning. I was just telling myself every night before going to bed. And I didn't think about it much other than doing that, right? And all of a sudden, things started to happen. In this particular case, I was traveling for the holidays. I stopped at a gas station. Don't normally talk to the person at the gas pump, right? Most people don't. But in this particular case, the guy next to me started talking and says, "Hey, how you doing? You traveling for the holidays?" I said, "Yeah." It's like, where are you going? I said, "Well, I'm going up to northern Indiana this time." And I says, "Well, I'm going down to," can't even remember now where he was going, but. And he said, "Well, what kind of stuff are you into? What do you do for work?" And I told him, He said, "Well, that's kind of interesting. I don't actually remember all the details of what he said, but he told me his story here and what he does." He said, "You'd be interested in this paper I read." It's like, and at the time I was kind of focused on other things. I was only half paying attention, right? But I listened enough, and something inside me latched on to what he was saying. So I actually remembered it later. And when I got home, all of a sudden it hit me that what this guy was telling me, I looked at the paper, was part of the solution to my proving to me that it was possible. What I thought was impossible was actually coming true before my eyes.
Okay.
And when you see the majesty in which that's happening, I didn't do a thing. It's like the whole world is moving to make your intention reality. And when it hits you, what's really happening, your conscious mind not only goes, whoa, but then you're like, you're changed forever.
Mm-hmm.
You realize what we really are. This is the essence of what we're supposed to be learning, is we are supernaturally powerful beings because we are part of God.
Mm-hmm.
The placebo effect's example of that. That's a higher level ability flowing down to us. As we grow and interact with other, I like to say I'm one cell in the mind of God. As I interact with all you other cells in the mind of God,
Mm-hmm.
we learn from each other. We develop abilities that none of us individually have.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
This is our ability to change our reality. This is the thing that allows us to wake up humanity. We're doing it. We all are doing it. When we all work together, we can put an end to this malarkey that's going on, and we will. It's predestined, or it's going to happen. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we've already won. Good always wins in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Ascension always wins.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
God doesn't leave anybody behind. You know, even the ones that are playing evil this time eventually get redeemed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we played the bad guy plenty of times
Sure.
in all of our lifetimes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this ascension isn't coming by accident. You know,
Right.
we've all learned some very powerful lessons along the way, and there's many more lessons to learn even.
Mm-hmm.
But when you realize the true power of what we have and what, you know, our combined intentions, especially, an individual's intention is powerful,
Mm-hmm.
but is vastly more powerful when a group of people focus their intentions. And so that's why I hope people that have heard I talk about the free will love laser will try it. Just focus your intention on that. You know, I'd like to add to that intention. Okay, the intention I'd like to put out. I put out the intention that within 30 days of August 22nd, that the Chinese people would be liberated.
Yeah.
And I'd like to add to that intention right now. I'm gonna do what I said to do. First of all, I activate the laser by praising the source. Praise God. It's like any laser. You have to find a power source. I just plugged it in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then to let the power flow, I said love, euphoria of love, infinite love, and that's letting the power of creation flow. And finally, the intention that I'm going to add is not only will the Chinese people be liberated, but mankind will be liberated.
Wow. Let's hope for that. That would be fantastic.
And it's coming. It's going to happen. We can do it. We all do it. It's already been determined. We all do it.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I want people to, if you want to say something over and over again and say, praise God, love, liberate China and humanity,
Mm-hmm.
and say it over again, whether you probably don't believe it right off, but keep saying it. and eventually things will start to happen, and you will believe, and then you will be transformed by it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the message I'm trying to get out. Do your own intentions. You don't have to listen to my intentions, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then also I'm putting attention out there right now that, praise God, love, let the concept of the Invisimask help the patriots all over the multiverse to fight off and ward off any kind of control structures, any kind of virus, and to instill fear in them. Let it work. Let it help them to shed their fear. Let them be safe
Mm-hmm.
from all disease. And so I just put that intention out there. Your try to add power to your Invisimask.
Well, that's awesome.
True intention.
Thank you. Yes. You know, the Invisimask, the intention, what the original intention was to help people realize that they have an immune system that is like an invisible barrier that nobody can see, but it works, you know. So the idea that it's nanoparticles and it's invisible. Yeah.
And you can of course add to that intention. You can make a separate intention about
Mm-hmm.
it. That's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because I put intention out doesn't mean it's any more important than your intention, you know?
Right.
So don't, you know, I just try to put things out there that people can focus on, and then I want them to do that I want them to do something, use it so they can see it work, and when they see it work, they realize the power that's really in us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this Great Awakening is about. It's us realizing why we are here on this planet,
Mm-hmm.
why we're here in this world, why we exist. We exist to grow, to learn, to experience these different things and evolve as spiritual beings. And we go out and yes, we're going to continue to fight great evils, but it's part of our training.
Mm-hmm.
And we're guaranteed that we will win.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we'll have setbacks. Yes, we should not take too many extraordinary risks, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
in those realities, evil can have some power, right? So we have to be intelligent, but we can use tools like this. Our intention,
Mm-hmm.
we can learn that our intention is a more powerful weapon than anything we can imagine.
Yes. That's a beautiful thought, and I think you're absolutely right. Intentions are the power
The
that
people just watching your show can change this world. Just these people.
yes, we can.
Just these people.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we will. Yeah. Yes, we have. You know,
So that's fantastic.
so I just that's the message I keep putting out. I want people to understand that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just transforming humanity and not just liberating humanity, liberating China, but we're liberating ourselves.
Yes.
We're realizing that you want to discover something.
Mm-hmm.
Put that intention out there and let it percolate, and
Yeah.
you watch.
Yeah.
And suddenly the ideas will be coming to you how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the extent of that is, right?
Right.
As far as I know, it's limitless. I mean, I think if it's within your power, it will be done.
Right. Yeah. It's and we can do amazing things more than we know. I mean, when you talk about something like that, I'm reminded of something that I did that still amazes me, and that is my game, Tetragon 2. Oh, by the way, I have the Invisimask up there, so I'm going to stop sharing that so I can show this. So, yeah, this is a game I invented, and I showed it around to toy companies for 33 years, and everyone loved it. They took it for a review, but nobody ended up buying it. And after 33 years, I was looking at it up on my shelf, and I thought, you know what? This thing has to get out on the market. And even though I did not have the means or anything to get it done, in a year and a half with zero money, I got it done and I got it out there. So intention, it was 100% intention. I was just so laser focused. You know, it was, yeah, that's what it was. So anyway.
Well, if you ever need some kind of something to add to it, to like, you know, I can help you with dyes that would make it glow in the dark. I can just, I don't know.
Well, this game is a basic game. It's like the most basic game in the world. It's just literally just a board and wood pieces, triangle wood pieces, and they're just natural wood, hardwood, maple and walnut. And it's just, the idea of the game is to be the first person to make 2 tetragons or squares out of your triangle pieces, but the other player will get 1 turn. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes to play. It's a great little game, and it's a fun thing. So yeah. Anyway, they might still have some at the Mall of America. I don't know if they do or not, but I'll have to check.
Every one of us can add and do add to everyone else when we interact with them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in very imperceptible ways, you know. So I'm hoping if somebody's encouraged by what I have to say and learn something about themselves in the process, that's all I can ask, you know.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's what life is all about. That's what Christ is all about. That's what God is all about.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, I'm just really, really glad that you called in tonight, Max. I'm glad
all the people. Yeah.
I'm really curious about this shrinking ability. I mean, because if you can shrink something, you probably could make something grow too, right? I mean, that might be kind of
right. I like to hear some. Was it Jacob Waters or something? There's someone on there. One of your last shows was talking about they were having a discussion. So there's some other people out there that can add into that discussion.
Sure.
Hear what they have to say, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be that subject either. It could be something else. So.
Right.
I'd love to hear what other people's adventures are.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just so honored by all the generosity in the chat today. I have to thank you, people. I am so blown away by your generosity, and it makes me want to do more shows. You know, so I really appreciate the appreciation. It really helps a lot. I think we're going to wrap this up. It's after midnight here, and so I think we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna do another show on Friday nights, so please be with us. It's Wednesday, so it's Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and sometimes on the weekends. So keep an eye out for the. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the button so you get notified. I want to thank Nicolota Trumpy Bear. I want to thank Becky and Dark Brain and everybody, and Becky and Max who called in. Thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate you. I love you all. And we are going to win. The good guys always win. We're going to get disclosure. We're going to get our country back. And it's going to be a glorious future. Thank you so much, everybody.
Amen.
Amen. And peace in.